Noah Dobson's just starting at the top, and they'll work their way to something reasonable.
So whatever he signs for, I'm watching closely because you know who's an RFA next year at a younger age, who was on Team Canada.
Harley?
Thomas Harley,
Ooh.
who's only making 4 right now.
Who makes more, Harley or Bouchard?
I think it's going to be Harley.
Or Bouchard.
No, Bouchard. Sorry.
Bouchard, Dobson, and Harley are all competing.
I don't know about that. I think Bouchard makes more than Harley.
Okay.
And it's because there's the tax-free state thing. We're going to talk about that in a second. That plays into it. But I also think Thomas Harley's Team Canada, he's making more than Noah Dobson.
Right.
And you know who his agent is?
Darren Ferris.
Andy Scott, agent for Mikko Rantanen. So I think there's that will be an interesting conversation. Maybe because remember, Dallas is trying to clear a lot of space. You guys saw we did the thing on the Mason Marchment trade. There was a video. We put a video out. Right?
We haven't talked about it here.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet. Yeah. They've got. You think they got cap problems now? They're going to have some cap problems next year too.
They have some decisions to make.
Now Mason Marchment goes to the Seattle Kraken for a couple of picks. Right? One pick this year, one pick next year. They're mid-round picks, a third and a fourth. And Jeff Merrick tweets out, and then Elliot also confirms today on 32 Thoughts that there was a trade made, no tax state to no tax state in Mason Marchment's
No income
case.
tax.
No income tax. And this is just after we were told it doesn't matter.
It's a lie. It's a lie, and I'm done.
Jonathan Marchessault, the reason he has trade protection is because when he signed in Nashville, he said, if you trade me, I don't want my contract to be worth less money elsewhere.
No, I'm too old. One day I'm going to die. I'm done being listened to liars.
So
it matters. It matters. It matters. You know what? It matters. It matters. It always mattered. It matters now. It's going to continue to matter. It matters. Stop it.
So what they wanted to do, so Jeff made a really interesting point, which was, you don't want to get out there as a general manager. You sign this guy in a no tax state at a slight discount because it's a no tax state.
Mm-hmm.
And then you trade him to a tax state or Canada. And
they tend to not like it.
Because
Canada,
the agents will tell
which
you.
Which we learned from Alan Walsh is a no tax country.
Yes.
Wait,
the
what?
Raptors, okay, you can.
Yeah.
So
Exactly,
this will
Steve.
blow your mind.
What was your response?
So,
What?
Exactly.
So you'll be blown away by this. But there is a tax sheltering thing you can take advantage of in Canada that was so devastatingly good for the Raptors that the NBA banned it.
Yep.
What?
The NBA said you cannot, if you're an NBA player and you play in Canada, you can't do this. And I forget what it's called. It's like there's like a place. Now, do you have access to all that money? No, but the second you leave Canada and go somewhere else, or you retire, you got it. It's yours. Tax-free.
Is that why we got
Alan and I
Olajuwon at
talked
the end
about
of his
it on the
career?
last episode. You'll blow your mind. I'm telling you, please listen to Agent Provocateur, please.
Oh, of course I do.
I know you do, but I'm just telling the people.
He's talking to the audience.
The people. I know you do.
You were looking at me when you said it. I was like, what?
No, I know you do.
It's one of the owners. What?
It's amazing. And so, but we're getting besides the point. The reality is, sometimes to people, they don't want, what's annoying about it is you don't have access to that money.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yes.
I want access to that money. So so people that will tell you, hey, the no tax state really doesn't matter. Well, actually does.
It incredibly does.
Because even if you got to park your money and get it later, well, you got to park your money and get it later.
Yes. But I think it matters as much as like everything matters with these teams.
Team culture,
like
media and fans.
I want to play in Toronto because I'm from here and I want to play in the biggest market.
Yeah.
How do you how are you going to create a salary cap system that limits that? Like it to me, and the tax thing, it's like, okay, so you want to live in Texas because it's tax free or whatever, or you're playing for the LA Kings. You could live in Texas for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. You could have your main residence over there and live in a state income tax free state. And then you're only charged for the 41 home games that you'd play at crypto.
Yeah.
And then, the other teams in California and whatever, but your road games are taxed differently than your home games.
Yep.
And you might not live in that state. So how do you create a rule that balances that out? I don't know how that's possible.
Right.
So I don't think it's anything they can do about it. I think it's a thing.
I think it's annoying to say that it's not a thing.
Exactly.
To acknowledge it's a thing and say there's not much we can do about it.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It is a thing, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's
done. Hey,
you know what?
I'll walk away from it.
Right?
I feel validated.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us, Jesse.
Thank you.
But Gary Bettman will go on a panel and say, no, for NHLers who've played in the league, this is not a problem. And Gary Bettman's a fucking loser for doing that shit.
He looks down at all the plebs and dumbers, just idiots who are beneath him.
Oh.
What a condescending.
Gary Bettman's a loser.
He said it was bad journalism. He said Bissonnette. He's like, first off, Bissonnette's not a journalist.
Right.
But he called it bad journalism.
If I ever interviewed him, it would be my last interview.
Yeah, probably would.
Hey, Gary, can you shut the fuck up? Actually, sorry.
He's gaslighting fans by saying it's not a thing. It's a thing amongst players. They obviously think about it. People within the game think about it. It's just something they can't control.
Or do much about.
The reality of life is the tax thing isn't something you can control with the salary cap.
But you know what you can't control? Not having a hard cap. You could have a little bit of an income tax. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Not income tax, a flexible cap. Anyway.
This is Alan Walsh and Adam Wylde chatting about the tax thing.
Called
on Agent Provocateur.
That's the show.
The best podcast in the universe.
Better than anything Steve Dangle's ever done.
And there is a tax vehicle called an RCA, Retirement Compensation Agreement, that can bring a player's effective tax rate over his time in Canada to around where it would be playing in a no state tax jurisdiction. The media was not informed enough about it to report it accurately at certain times historically. Players were not educated enough on it, and even teams were not educated enough. If I were a GM of a Canadian hockey team, I would have a tax expert, right, at the ready with tax projections, with the whole RCA laid out on every free agent signing, and that would go along to the agent and the player with every offer.
Right.
Right? I mean, the team should be more aggressive in promoting RCAs. There are agents and agencies, myself included, that got educated on RCAs when they first started going into practice. And it is a way to alleviate the differences in tax a player will pay over his career in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And the NBA, as Adam said, saw RCAs as so much as of an advantage for the Toronto Raptors over every other NBA franchise that they banned NBA players from getting RCAs.
Crazy.
So you can do it.
Like, where's the media noise about that?
And Alan walks the walk.
About tax law.
Alan walks the walk. A lot of his clients have signed in Canada.
I don't think they're scared.
Yeah, well, because Octagon also has a pretty, and some of these bigger agencies do have pretty incredible money managers that know the tax laws in every jurisdiction.
You did a show with one of them.
Yes, and so I think that's the key. But to say that it isn't an issue, it's an issue.
It
doesn't exist.
It's a thing.
It's just
so let's not say it's not.
You can't regulate it through the salary cap.
Now, with the Mason Marchment deal, guys, what's lost in that is Eric Holla was traded from the New Jersey Devils back to the Predators, where he played for a season, and I had almost forgotten that he played there because it was COVID. And what the Devils got for Holla, I think, is comparable or maybe a little bit better in terms per capita than what Marchment got. I feel like
the difference is the Devils aren't screwed.
The Predators should have got Marchment. He's a no tax state. Why didn't you go get Marchment?
Maybe you didn't want to.
Well,
maybe they didn't want to.
So the question in Nashville, though, in the bigger thing is Marchessault is here's what they're calling him. You ready? This is what you don't want in hockey. Big personality.
Oh,
big personality, and they call Mason Marchment a big personality. Now, I think the Kraken have no personality. So Mason Marchment might bring some, which is good.
Let me tell you, I think they lack personality. I think they lack toughness, and he brings that. Mason Marchment scored at a 62-point pace. Mm-hmm. Seattle's leading scorer was Jared McCann with 61. They need a backup goalie so bad, but they might need offense even worse.
But Adam, the reason the Nashville Predators didn't do the Mason Marchment deal, which you outlined that resume, that's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
The reason they didn't do it is because Barry Trotz is bad at his job. He has taken over as general manager of this team, and consistently over and over and over again, he makes bad decisions. And I just don't think he's good at being a GM, but because he's Barry Trotz, he gets the freedom to be the GM. And there's enough evidence that he doesn't know what he's doing.
If you're a GM,
Call him.
if you're the president of a team and you, Mike Babcock, say to your GM, give me your phone. I want to look at your phone. And there isn't a phone call placed to Barry Trotz every day, you fire him.